Could you please tell us a little about yourself?
My name is Ashley-Richardson Minnitt, and I am the Director of Longhorn TIES Neurodiversity Support. A little bit about myself. I am a licensed clinical social worker, board approved supervisor, and I'm from West Texas. So I got my undergraduate degree at Texas Tech University and my master's degree at the University of Texas at Arlington. And both of those degrees were in social work. I started working in the field of supporting individuals with autism and other neurodivergent diagnoses. Back in 2012 in graduate school, I got a little bit touch of it, but in my first professional jobs, I really fell in love with supporting individuals with autism specifically. I got a lot of training at the Burkhart Center for Autism Education and Research at Texas Tech, and that kind of started my journey in love in supporting students and families with autism. And so that's kind of what got me working in this field.
Can you please tell us about UT and the surrounding community of Austin?
UT is a public university. We have about 52,000 students plus on campus. And we talk a lot about kind of our motto here is what's, starts here, changes the world. And you see a lot of that at UT Austin. We have more than 170 undergraduate degrees that are offered. Over 1,000 student organizations, and UT is the number 7, according to the U.S. Weekly poll of last year, top public university. So, UT values learning, discovery, leadership, and just individual opportunities and responsibility. And so that is huge on campus. So Austin, of course, besides being like just the capital of Texas, we also are the music capital of the world. So Austin is just a great area. There's a bustling, fun music scene, music, film, and art scene. So a lot of residents here, can enjoy just the natural beauty of the city, the lakes, the trails, the hills. We are near the hill country. In the hill country, not far from a lot of just great places. Food is a big one here. So great barbecue, great breakfast tacos. And I think the one thing students do enjoy so much about the Austin community and the UT community as well is Austin has just a deep appreciation for just all kinds of people and really, promotes, any kind of dreams the individual may have, their spirit for entrepreneurship. There's lots of local businesses. So Austin's just a great place to be.
Can you tell us more about the Longhorn TIES program?
So Longhorn TIES Neurodiversity Support, we started serving students in 2020. So we are hitting our 5-year anniversary this year. So we're super excited about that. We have 4 buckets of support on our campus, which is a little bit different from other programs. So we have our student support services. We have our ND at UT, which stands for Neurodiversity at UT, programs and events. We do a lot of presentations and trainings for campus staff, as well as student organizations. And then we have a good resource bucket. Our 2 big buckets are our student support services and our programs and events. So I'll talk about our student support services. Our TIES Plus program is our comprehensive wraparound support program. And that program is where we support majority of our students. Within TIES, our goal is to enhance the student experience for those who identify as having autism or or any other neurodivergent diagnosis through connections, self-advocacy, and training. Those are our 3 pillars. For our TIES Plus program, the 5 domains where we provide student support is going to be academic planning and success, social communication, professional development, health and wellness, and independent living. So that is going to be kind of our domain areas and our buckets of support. Our TIES Plus program is our comprehensive program where students get kind of a really chunk hand-on-hand support. We also provide limited drop-in supports to students at UT that do identify as neurodivergent. What we have seen is that not all students need this full comprehensive support, but they do need some support. So we provide quick limited drop-ins. Students have access to 2 drop-ins a semester, and they just have to identify as being neurodivergent. Besides our student support, we are really big here at Longhorn TIES. I said one of our pillars is connections, and connecting students with one another and creating a campus environment that is really affirming and students find belonging across campus. So we have our ND at UT programs and events where we have our student workers who are neurodivergent hosts, monthly socials, mixers, workshops, really for the campus community, and anyone is invited. And it is a place where students can just build community among one another, and also kind of get to explore some of their interests. And so we love that about those ND at UT workshops.
What does the application process for Longhorn TIES entail?
So students that are interested in Longhorn TIES, to be eligible first, I will start with our eligibility process. So to be eligible for our TIES Plus services, students must first identify as being neurodivergent. So that could be having autism, ADHD, dyslexia, dyspraxia, the list goes on. They have to be an admitted student. So students can apply for services once they have been admitted and accepted to UT Austin. And then they must complete a intake application, we call it initial consult with our team, and also submit a confidence survey that we send them. So the confidence survey kind of just, we ask questions regarding their confidence level within our 5 domains. So the academic planning success, social connection, health and wellness, independent living, and professional development. Unlike other programs, we do not require a proof of diagnosis because we didn't want that to be a barrier for students accessing our services. But we have seen anecdotally about 95% of our students do come in with that documentation already. Once students apply for do their interview and confidence survey, we usually have a 2 to 3 week turnaround of what when we let them know that, hey, you're accepted to this program. TIES, we do accept applications on a rolling basis. However, we only do start students at the beginning of each academic term. Incoming students can apply at any time. Once they've been admitted, they can apply, and then we would start their services the first semester they are actually enrolled.
How large is the Longhorn TIES program, and which students are typically good fits for the program?
In terms of kind of, our program, our TIES Plus program, currently we serve about 40 students within our TIES Plus program. Students that do qualify and are usually the best fit for our program are students that have received, comprehensive support, kind of more hands-on support while they were in high school. We always do have a lot of sophomores and juniors that are at UT that reach out and apply. And the students that are appropriate coming from that level are students that just need a little bit more one-on-one support to kind of overcome any challenges or barriers they're seeing. And so those are students that usually come to us while they're enrolled in school. It's like, hey, I struggled in the fall, I didn't do great, or I struggled in the spring, I'm having a hard time keeping up with things, my time management skills aren't that great. And those are usually the students that kind of reach out and they're like, I need that accountability, that one-on-one support. Students that are, a good fit for kind of our program are students that have the desire for assistance and are wanting that assistance. And also that are open and ready for change and ready to apply some of the skills they've learned or be open to that process.
How much does the Longhorn TIES program cost?
When it comes to the fees and costs of our program, so right now we have various levels of support. So we have 3 levels of support. Our level 1 support is our most comprehensive, where students meet with a coach on a weekly or every other week basis. They do have required events and workshops they have to attend, and that's $5,000 per term. Our level 2 is going to be our every other week, so bi-weekly. Students do have progress checks the weeks that they're not meeting with their coach, and those progress checks could be in the form of like email or a Slack message, and that's $3,000 per term. And then we have our level 3, that is monthly with kind of a mid-month check-in, and that's $1,500 per term. So students have various ways to cover the cost of our supports. So first, you're going to have financial aid. So students that are interested in using financial aid, they could reach out to our office directly, and we could do a cost of attendance adjustment. We can reach out to them to say, hey, the student needs more aid back. Students can also apply scholarships that they may have received to cover these services. Any savings accounts that parents have can also cover the supports. And lastly, right now, if students are eligible for Texas VR support and apply for VR services and are found eligible for their services and have Longhorn Ties on their plan for employment, Texas Workforce may provide some vocational assistance. So there are 3 different ways that families and students can cover the cost of our Ties services.
How is the Longhorn Ties team structured?
So our team is structured with full-time staff members. So we have full-time coaches that provide the coaching support. In addition, we do have graduate student coaches that support us. We have 3 full-time staff and usually have 2 to 3 graduate students that help us provide additional coaching support. So students meet with these coaches based on their level of service. So if it's level 1, students will meet with the coach either weekly or 2 times a week. They also have access to additional drop-in meetings if needed. And that's same with all of our level of supports. And so though that is kind of the structure of our staff and the student and the team members that provide that one-on-one support.
Do you collaborate with other departments at UT?
So we are called TIES because we like to tie students to the services they need to be successful, not only inside the classroom, but outside the classroom. So when it comes to housing and our partnership with housing, so all students apply for regular housing like every UT Longhorn. Through the housing portal, students can fill out like a preference sheet where they can put things that they would prefer in the roommate that they're living with, such as, if they have a preference for like getting up early in the morning, or if they need kind of comfortable sensory environment, things of that nature. TIES does not assist with like the matching process. However, we do provide support and trainings with our RAs and things of that nature. So our RAs are aware of how to support our neurodivergent students. Some students, if they are interested, can request housing accommodations where they, based on their disability, can request whether it's like a single room without a roommate. And so some of our students do go through that process with our Disability and Access Department. And our Disability and Access Department assists with accommodations as well. TIES can provide support throughout the accommodation process, answering any questions students may have, and also supporting them as they advocate for their accommodation needs with their professors, because that's something that a lot of students do find challenging. Besides housing and our disability department, we work greatly with our counseling and mental health center on campus and our career centers across campus.
Can you please tell us more about your partnership with Career Services at UT?
So every college has a career center, and we have worked one-on-one with our career centers in helping students kind of find employment and internship options that meet their needs. Within TIES, we also do a lot of mock interview trainings, kind of resume development, and things of that nature to help them get ready for that next step. If we're not doing that in our one-on-one meetings, we love to create workshops where students, just for our TIES Plus students, where students are going over some of those skills, whether it's like how to update their LinkedIn or their Hooked In that UT has, or how to kind of perfect their cover letter and things of that nature. So we will host workshops and things like that for our TIES Plus students. We also host socials. So a lot of students just love like a movie night, game and craft night. We host specific events just for our TIES Plus students. We took some students to the Blanton Art Museum just recently and had Froyo. And so those are some of the opportunities that we do just for our TIES Plus students, so they can make connections, within TIES Plus, but also we encourage them to do activities within the bigger UT community, because there's so much going on in the UT community that a lot of our students find interest in.
Do you have any student success stories you would like to share?
We've had so many great students graduate from TIES and that are success stories, but there are a few that stand out. One of them was our very first TIES student. So this student came to my office before I even started promoting TIES, and they were like, I heard there's some supports to help autistic students, and I'm autistic and I'm needing some support. And so we were with that student from their freshman year, and they made so many great strides in learning how to be more independent. They stayed on their own. They moved from parents' house to be more independent. They had roommates. We helped them with the internship process. That was big, in learning how to advocate for their needs. And they received so many different internship opportunities. And now they are working with Unilever, and they are making strides representing like neurodivergent individuals in the workplace and helping shift the culture in their workplace. And was even asked to create a university resource group within their department for autistic and neurodivergent individuals. And I think, they are one person that is just a truly, success story. They were so bought into the support and really leaned on their coaches throughout the whole process. So we have a second student that started during COVID during their sophomore year and was with us throughout their rest of their time at UT. And at that time, they were really seeking connection and were having a lot of sensory challenges and really needed assistance learning how to advocate for their needs as they were interested in becoming a teacher, and so needed assistance working through the challenges of the education environment and how to be confident in that environment. And now they are a middle school teacher and they are doing great things, and they are now supporting the neurodivergent students that they are working with and advocating for their needs in the classroom. And so that is a great success story, and we're just so proud of his success as well.
Big thanks to Ashley and the Longhorn TIES program at UT Austin. Please subscribe to Inclusive Academia.